So I come from rock and metal guitar, but I've been always extremely impressed by the virtuosity of acoustic fingerstyle players. So for today's video, I literally invited one of the best fingerstyle guitar players in the world, Dawes, and he challenged me to learn some of his most advanced techniques on the instrument. So time to put down the electric guitar. Let's see if I can pull this off. I really suck at fingerstyle guitar. I need help.
No! Okay, let's do it. So you've never played acoustic guitar? Oh, you have played. You did the thing where you drilled. I saw that.
Maybe we can try that.
No, we're absolutely not trying that. This is my baby. So the first thing I would say is you don't have to have long fingernails to play fingerstyle guitar. I personally only really have fingernails because I like it when people are unsure whether to shake my hand. But the good thing that the nails are for, one good thing is right-hand harmonics, for example. Well, let me ask you, what makes a harmonic?
You don't press down on the string, you just touch it gently.
You just touch it gently. So you can do that very easily with two hands, obviously. One hand is touching the point, and the other hand is vibrating the string, exactly what you just said. But we can do that with one hand.
Ooh,
like
nice.
That, okay, and that's one of the cool things that the fingernail is good for. So here I'm able to get a whole chord made up of harmonics with one finger acting as the point touching the string, you know, and the other finger with a bit of a fingernail acting as the guitar pick. So you can actually use upstroke or downstroke to get these kind of harmonics, right? Have you ever done anything like that, like with one hand?
I did the intro to Waterworks. One of my songs is like sweep picking with harmonics.
Oh, sick.
Where I'm kind of trying to follow an arpeggio, but I do need my pick for that.
It's a two-hand thing.
So that seems like something...
Well, give it a go, man. I mean, obviously this sounds quite pleasurable because I'm in an open tuning. You're going to place your finger on the top string over the fret. Again, like, as you know, we're not pressing down onto the fret itself. We're just resting over the string. You're not going to pick like this individual things. You're not going to move your knuckle at all or anything like that.
Sweep picking with
exactly,
one finger.
right.
Okay.
Sweep picking with one finger. That's a really interesting, like...
You have to speak in Neanderthal terms.
Yeah, okay.
Sweep picking.
Yeah.
Come on, what are you waiting for, you gully man?
Okay. So another trick is you don't want to have this at an angle. So you want to make sure that your finger is parallel to the fret. I'm not doing it like this, because then it's going to be janky and the nail's going to catch or the finger's going to catch. So over the 19th fret, finger parallel with the fret, this finger's ready to pick, and then it's just the whole arm moving. Okay?
Nice.
Want to give it a go?
Yeah.
Sick. Okay, here we go. Please don't drill any holes in my prized guitar, you absolute mad lad.
I won't. I got it. I got one harmonic.
You want to have a completely flat finger. Flat. Exactly. And this needs to be curved a little bit at the knuckle because you've got to pick the strings, right? Yo, dude! Nailed it. You nailed it. But the harder version of this is to do it the other way around, as a downstroke. That's what I'm talking about, okay? But you can take that ability once you're doing it, and just a more basic way of doing it is to apply it to open strings, you know? Whether that's with your thumb or an individual finger. Have you tried that before?
No, I don't think so.
Want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are called right-handed natural harmonics. And I'm doing the same thing, but instead of a chord, just individual notes, so a bit more simple. The thing here, I'm using my index finger over the 12th fret and my thumb to pick it, okay? Nice. Very simple. However, once you get past, say, the D string, you want to switch that up and use your second finger or ring finger to pick it. Can you think of a reason why you might want to use a different finger for the different strings?
Like if you have a fingering of a scale, maybe? If you want to speed it
up. I like how the shredder's always thinking in terms of scales.
It must be a little faster.
What scale makes me play like Yngwie Malmsteen's Rising Force?
Harmonic minor.
Harmonic minor, exactly, yeah. You know how these strings are coiled?
Oh, yeah.
And then these strings are uncoiled.
Okay.
If I were to use my finger, like the second finger or the ring finger, to pick here, you hear there's a little, little scratch sound. If I'm using my thumb, there isn't. The other reason is, if I'm using my thumb here, I can self-accompany. I can actually play other things. Touch it with the finger, Bernd. This guitar has an insanely low action right now, so it's harder to get in and get a lot of volume out of the strings, and he also doesn't have the nail. So again, this is what it'll sound like if you don't have the nail. Very nice, okay. Now let's try string 1, 2, 3, but use the second or third finger to pick those ones. Sounds good. And that's how, when I'm writing music and fingerstyle guitar players are writing music, we're able to kind of get those really high-pitched melodies and variations. So just by knowing where those locations are. Like that.
By the way, my friend Mike and I actually made a song together that combines the best of both worlds, electric guitar and acoustic guitar. And we even got Charles Bear 2 to play some bass on it. It's called RSI, it's out everywhere, and you can find the video on my channel. I left all the links down below. If you're into guitar music, you have to check this one out.
There's so much you can do self-accompanying. I mean, the percussion thing is a whole other thing that people like to do, you know.
Yes,
where you
that's
can
what I
actually...
wanted to ask
Oh,
about
okay.
next. I never did any percussion at all because it doesn't make much sense on an electric
on an
guitar.
electric, yeah.
Just when you played the thing that you did right now, you also had some nice little, yes, exactly, accents like that.
You've seen fingerstyle people, modern fingerstyle people doing percussion. You've probably seen them flying all over the neck.
Nice.
Whatever it is they want to do, you know, woo, look at me, I'm a wizard, you know. I'm not, I look like a wizard though. I look like some kind of fictional character. It's the fingernails. It's like the Palpatine. No!
It's the wrong voice.
Yeah, it's the wrong voice. Yeah. Do it! Actually, fuck it. Two fictional characters who yell, do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it! Or, do it!
Do it now!
The bass drum, so.
Yes.
Flying all over, don't need to do that. Because this is the best area for percussion. Why would this be the best area for percussion?
Because you need to come back to...
Because you need to play music at the same time. Like, no, it doesn't make sense. You want to be around here, okay? So you can be able to do that, okay? You ride a motorbike at all? Moped or?
Bike.
Okay, a bike. You're on your bike, and then you're going to rev the throttle of your bicycle. Okay, that's the movement.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that while you're here grabbing the strings, you can arpeggiate and roll off into a kick, like that, okay? And that's something that I like to teach people sometimes. You can find lessons like this and more on my website.
You should check that out because you can't find them on mine. Definitely not.
Well, you can now, right? Yeah, exactly. This is called a finger roll, so I'll have all of the fingers on here, like this. But as I pick that top string, that is the motorbike movement. When you first do this, what you'll do is this.
Yes.
Okay, it's not what we want to do because we're leading into the bar line. And on the 1, you know, 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, on the 1, you're gonna hit a kick drum. That was it. That was it. Nice one.
Nice.
That was really good. So we're in dad-gad tuning now. We've got rid of the stepdad. Dad's come back. Family's back together. Nice and happy. Back to dad-gad. D-A-D-G-A-D. That's one way of combining music with percussion. Okay, we're trying to replace the band, not kind of do it in a linear way where it's sort of kind of like a party trick. And that's why something as simple as this kick drum can enhance a song in so many interesting ways. That this hand is doing the same old stuff in, but just by playing a few little right hand. Just these little things that we're doing now will make you stand out, I think, from the crowd for sure. Let's do the snare.
Yes.
You're a proficient guitar player, so we're going to do the snare and... Why don't we do the snare and a downstroke? Okay?
Okay.
So there's two motions happening here, okay? Now, first of all, there's many different types of snare that you can get on the acoustic guitar. You know, whatever it's going to be. Whatever you want to do. If it's in that frequency range, it's a snare. We're going to do the basic one, which is the click, because it sounds like a click. And that is the thumb knuckle, the side of your thumb, kind of hitting the bottom string or the A string or something like that, okay? Now notice how it's kind of the whole hand kind of pivoting like this, yeah?
Reminds me of the thumping.
We have to, exactly, if you're a Tosin fan, it's a similar kind of thing. It's not it's not
the
this.
banana grip.
It's not the banana grip. And what you're going to do is vertically flick with your middle finger. Like this, from this knuckle. You're going to just fire it out. And when you first start that, it might be quite exhausting and painful. Because you've got two motions at the same time. You've got a sideways motion, like this. At the same time as you've got a downward motion, like this. And when I strum like that, I typically just aim for the top 4 strings. We're going to do a click and a flick. The click is going to cover the bottom string, and then the flick is going to flick out at the same time. What are you waiting for? Do it already! That was actually musical and nice. I'm kind of imagining all the different elements of a drum kit. So I just practice to fill in this grid until you're free to improvise around. And then it becomes a a much more fun way to play the guitar unaccompanied, because you don't have to deal with other humans. You can just actually just do stuff by yourself, you know.
Collect the entire payment for the show.
Exactly.
Nice.
Dude, exactly.
That's why you do it. Now
That's why we do it for the money. The hardest part is earning your first million.
Yeah, start with the second.
You got to start with the second.
Pro tip.
So something that I really like doing is learning a few different percussive elements based on the wrist moving, like this. So here I'm kind of flicking the wrist down, up, right? The down, as it pivots like this, the thumb is slapping the bottom string. And then on the up, just a finger or a couple of fingers or something is kind of slapping on the upstroke, okay? We're all muted here, okay? But when you start integrating other fingers as well, you get little triplet patterns. So the trick here, this is something I got from Matthias Eklund, you know, Free Kitchen.
Oh yeah.
The way to do this, I mean, we're back to harmonic for a second, there's a reason for this, is you keep one finger completely flat, covering every string except for the bottom string. And the other finger, the second finger, is going to be completely flat, but it's going to slap on to where the 12th fret harmonic is, or the 7th fret harmonic. So you can see how that's done. But if you then move this first finger to cover all the strings, it's a muted hit. So suddenly we get 1, 2, 3. Or as a harmonic. Let's start with the harmonic, okay? And then let's see if you can get the chop and the hit. But then you can make it a pattern of 4.
Let's start with 3. So I want to make sure not to mute the
So let's go up
string.
to the 12th fret first, because we're going to try the harmonic. So
Nice! I do something kind of...
Oh, what?
I do some slapping stuff where you have like the dead note, but I never did the...
With the harmonics.
Yeah.
So you know, you have to go da-ga, da-ga, da-ga to make the fingers...
I got it!
My second album, I have a song called Overload, or Overtoed, as I call it. It's about a time I stepped over a frog. This was the one song where the percussion inspired the song. So I came up with this very simple beat. And I wanted to come up with a kind of shuffly hi-hat kind of thing. So I was imagining a beat that was like... kind of funky thing. So that's when I started kind of going, okay, well... And then you can start creating these really, really interesting beats. You know, where you're using these in the context of a piece of actual music. Okay, so I want you to understand where that's going. You know, it's not just random stuff. So yeah, that song's called Overload. Anyway, tab available online.
Yeah, I want to get more into that. It was quite inspiring. Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
Dude.
All the links are down below, and see you next time, hopefully. Bye-bye. All right, my friends, let me know who you want to see on the channel next. And don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. That really helps me out a lot. And also make sure to subscribe. This is incredibly important so that you don't miss the next episode and so that you're finally a real part of our community here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.